Hey guys, this is Ashley over at Henbit Homestead. This is our first live video. We're over at our property in Groveton. I don't know if you can see behind me, but it's really pretty and quiet out here, so that's why I thought I would try doing the video out here. So hopefully you could hear me. Hopefully the wind noise isn't too bad. We had a cool front start to come in today, so we're getting a little bit of wind here and there, so just bear with me. I wanted to make this video because I just kind of wanted to share with you guys why I started making soap, which kind of evolved into a few other things, and what made me start making soap. So we moved out to Apple Springs, Texas about 3 years ago. I was working full-time at a police department. I'll put a link to the About Us down in the video description so you can read more about us. But in a nutshell, I loved what I did, but I was tired of working holidays and nights and weekends and all that, and I had little kids, and so it was just a goal of mine to be able to stay home with my kids. So we moved out to the country, and it's been a big struggle, but I was finally able to quit working full-time a little over a year ago. It was last summer, and I started making soap probably right about that time, maybe a little bit before. And last summer I got our first pair of goats, and so I started making soap simply because I would find that people, when I would search for a natural soap, I couldn't find it. I would either find people that wouldn't include their ingredients, which, just so everybody knows, whenever you make soap, if it's a true soap that uses lye, you're not required to list the ingredients. But we do, just because I feel like people deserve to know what's in the product that they're purchasing. So, people would say it's natural, and they would use either cheap oils, or they would use fragrance oils and micas and that sort of thing. And that is totally fine if people want to use that, but I feel like it's a little bit misleading to market that as totally natural and then not put ingredients on your soap. So, you can see a bar of soap that's this really pretty purple color and smells like something from Bath and Body Works, and be told that it's natural, it has no ingredient list, and you buy it and be on your way. So I feel like that's a little bit misleading. So when I started making my own soap, of course I use the goat's milk, and I use lard. I use lard for the majority of my recipe for several reasons. Number one, I get it from a really, really good source. It takes me about 2 hours one way to drive there and get it, and I actually buy it before it's rendered. So if you're not familiar with what lard is, it's actually pork fat, but it makes an excellent bar of soap. So I drive about 2 hours one way. I pick up a non-soy, non-GMO, pasture-raised pork fat, and then I bring it home, render it into lard, and that's what I use for the majority of my soap. It does make it a little bit more expensive, but when you calculate how long the bar lasts, it is actually less expensive in the long run. So your bar won't melt, it won't dissolve. As long as you dry your bar really well between uses, it will last a really long time. Plus the fact that I'm supporting another small local, business here in East Texas, and it's a family-owned business. I can go out there and see how their animals are raised. All that stuff is just a huge plus for me. Not only that, but I know how that animal is raised, and so me using that in my soap, that's just, in my opinion, obviously, has given me the best bar of soap that I've been able to make. So it took me about a year to come up with this recipe, but that's really the reason why I use lard, because it just makes a really good, high-quality, hard bar of soap. So what I want to show you guys while I'm talking about how hard a bar of soap is, and the next thing I want to touch on is curing. I most of the time make hot process. You can do hot or cold. The difference is one is going to force it through the process. The other one, it's just going to take like 24 to 48 hours. At that point, it is safe to use, but I don't sell it and I don't use it for another at least 3 to 4 weeks because, number one, it's not going to last as long. Number two, the bars are they're not cured. Not only do they get more gentle and they're longer lasting once they've cured for a few weeks, but They're a lot harder. So if you look at this bar of soap that I made like a week or two ago, hopefully you can see it, but you can see where I can kind of squeeze. I'm going to squeeze it really hard, and then I'll show you guys, or try to show you an indentation. So I don't know if you can see, if I kind of angle it where I pressed in, like right around there. And then I have another bar of soap that I made, gosh, it's been several months ago. This one, I couldn't do it if I tried. I mean, it's like hard as a rock. And that actually makes a more gentle bar soap because it sat there and it's cured longer. The water is evaporated, which means it's going to last you a lot longer. So while people will sell a bar of soap once it's just made, and they'll use different oils to make it harder so they can sell it faster, it's not going to result in the best quality bar. So that's why I'm pretty adamant about curing my bars of soap for a while. So yeah, I had a really hard time finding natural products. People would say they were natural, and in my opinion, I was just kind of like, I don't think it's kind of deceiving. It wasn't really natural. And I'll give you another example. I went to Target to find my daughter some shampoo, and everything sounds, like it's all natural, it's this, it's that, and I look at the back and I look at the ingredients, and it would just have this list of just crap in it. So that's another thing. A shampoo bar is eventually on my list of stuff to make, but right now, until I can get that done, I'm kind of locked into either using my soap or something from the store as clean as I can find on our hair. So what I mean by natural is, at this time, I'm not using any micas or any fragrance oils. If I ever do use them, it'll definitely be very clear which bars of soap do and don't use that. I just don't think that it's right to label it as natural and not disclose what the ingredients are. So that's why a lot of my soaps are like earth tones. If you look at these two right here, they're just not, those real bright, pretty colors, because that's just hard to achieve naturally. I'll use clays. Sometimes I'll use rose clay, which will give me kind of a pink color. But the milks that I use, either the goat's milk or Jersey cow milk, will just give it that kind of a brown color most of the time, which is the next thing I want to talk about. We have 2 Nigerian dwarf goats, and that is what I use for most of my milk. Occasionally, if I run out and have to replace it with another milk, I use Jersey cow milk from another local farm here in East Texas that I buy, that I visited. I know the people that raise them. I mean, there's like probably 4 or 5 Jersey cows on about 20 to 25 acres. So I know how they're treated. I know it's a high quality milk, and that's really important to me. I've got my notes right here so that I don't forget to tell y'all anything. So yeah, in a nutshell, I mean, that's really just kind of what I wanted to brief everybody on. We're not like an MLM, not that I have anything against that, but it's just a little bit different when you start doing everything from scratch and you have to come up with, all the products and the labels, and there's just a lot of things to think about. So it's just something I started doing about, I guess about a year ago or so. And now we've added, body butters, and we're adding chapstick later this month with the holidays, coming up. We're adding a bunch of other things. So I'm going to put a couple of links in the description, something that just kind of talks about meet our suppliers. You can see the pictures of the goats and the Jersey cows, where we get all of our milk and stuff from. And then also I'll just link to our website where you can shop if you want to. And don't forget to also join our Facebook group that we've got. If you look on our Facebook page, you'll see a link. I'll post it later tonight about joining our Facebook group, because that's where we're going to be announcing a lot of our Black Friday sales. So until next time, y'all have a great day. Thanks. Bye.